My accommodation is in Heronbank West, and it's basically about 10-15 minutes walk away from Central Campus. What I like most about my accommodation is that my room is actually pretty big and it's ensuite, so I'm the kind who I must have my own toilet and my own bathtub. I can't share with anyone, so that's one thing I really like about the most. And the thing is, there are bigger rooms than mine. If you're lucky enough, you get the disabled room, which is massive, or if you get the highest floor room, actually the length of it is longer than how normal rooms are. Okay, what I least like my accommodation is actually it's the ducks outside, because they're really noisy, because I live right near the pond, so every night they just make a lot of noise, very hard to sleep. But I think for like most people generally, what they will not like the most is the distance, because you gotta walk really far, like 10-15 minutes to class every day. But for me, because I enjoy like exercising and working out, so to me it's normal. I don't mind walking. I share my kitchen with 8 people. The weird thing about here is everyone don't really use their own kitchen, so they always go to their friend's kitchen, and I happen to be quite lucky because my kitchen is pretty empty most of the time, because my flatmates, they will go to their own friend's kitchen and not use their own kitchen, so I get the whole kitchen, almost the whole kitchen to myself. I feel like the kitchen definitely have enough space for everyone, because our fridge is actually quite big, so they divided the fridge like by segments, so there's just nice 8 people to put all their groceries, and there's also a freezer for you to put your groceries, and there's one big table and like I think about 8 just nice 8 chairs for everyone to sit, so you definitely get a seat. My room is ensuite, so I have my own toilet, and I have a bathtub which I really love because I use it a lot, almost like every day. It helps you to de-stress, and like after you exercise, you get aches and stuff, you can go and like soak your whole body in there in hot water for like a good 15 minutes, and you'll feel really good after that. And the space wise is actually pretty big too. It's not like really squeezy or cramped up, like where when you go in, you turn, it's a toilet bowl, and you turn left, it's the shower room already. So actually you got a lot of walking space. The laundry room depends on where you stay, because where I stay at one end of the building, and the laundry room is on the other end of the building. So whenever I do my laundry, I gotta like lug my laundries and like go across to the building to the laundry room. But if you happen to stay at the same block where the laundry room is, then it'll just be below you or just right beside you. So it depends on how lucky you are. From Heronbank to Central Campus is about 15-10 minutes. So Central Campus is where normally all your classes will be at. Honestly, it's not that far because you really get used to it. But when it starts to get cold and it starts to rain, you reach faster because that's when you start running. When you want to choose your accommodation, right, you gotta like find out more about what kind of accommodation like they are, because honestly different accommodation has like different culture. Like so Heronbank is a quiet place. Like you can see outside, it's like really serene and like just plain views everywhere. It's really peaceful and quiet. So if you're the kind who you need to focus on your studies with no noise, then Heronbank is perfect for you. But if you're the kind who you like to party, you like to go out, you like noises, you like people around you, then the accommodation on Central Campus like Tocil and Roots, that's where it will best suit you.
My accommodation is Lakeside. Lakeside is located at the Lakeside Village, which includes Heronbank as well. And Lakeside Village is around 10 minutes from campus. It's not that far, but you might want to consider getting a bicycle if you do not like walking. What I like most about my accommodation is that it's very big. It's I think Lakeside is the biggest accommodation in campus, and it's located in the Lakeside Village, which is very quiet. So if you don't like the sounds of like people like walking or shouting constantly, Lakeside is a pretty nice choice. What I least like about my accommodation is the walking distance. Sometimes you just don't feel like going out for class. Sometimes like if you got 9 a.m.s, you gotta wake up at like 8:30 and get ready by 8:45 before you head out. The Lakeside kitchen is shared between 8 people. I think it's enough space for everybody. But make sure on the first week you come to school, chop your fridge space by putting something in the fridge first. Yeah, if not, other people will cop your space on. Generally, there's enough space for you to eat and do your stuff in the kitchen because most of them actually don't really cook. So yeah, if you like to cook, it's quite nice. The kitchen is big enough. It's ensuite, so you have your own bathroom to yourself, which is da bomb. Da bomb. Yeah, your own toilet. Can't get any happier than that. There are 2 laundry sites located in Lakeside. One is at Block 1 and Block 4. Both are within a 2-minute walking distance, so it's not that bad. But during winter, it can be quite troublesome because you might have to carry your clothing out in the cold for like 2 minutes. Yeah, that's about it. It takes between 5 to 10 minutes. For me, I'm a management student, so sometimes I have lessons at the Warwick Business School, which is 5 minutes away. But sometimes I have classes all the way at the Maths and Stats building, which is like 12 minutes away. So it really depends where your classes are at, because it's quite random. If I could redo my accommodation application again, I would probably state in the comments to apply for a higher floor, because second floors, which is a third floor in Singapore, is they have bigger windows, and I think it's just nicer, and it might be quieter as well.
Sherbourne's next to Lakeside Village, which is Lakeside and Heronbank accommodations. We are slightly further off WBS, which is around like the top of school. It's very far from the Cannon Park shopping centre, so if you do groceries, you have to do like delivery or something. My accommodation is very nice and secluded, so it's very quiet, and it's also more modern than the other accommodations. It's very far away from main campus, so it takes quite a while, and usually when you're here, you're too lazy to go to school and back and forth. In Sherbourne, there are 13 people for a kitchen, and it's quite a lot of people, so the kitchen gets pretty dirty. We have an ensuite bathroom with a shower stall, so there's no bathtub, but that's good enough. There are 2 laundrettes in Block 1 and Block 4. So if you don't stay there, you have to walk over, which isn't that far. It takes around 15 minutes at a slow pace to get to the main campus. The most important part will be the location and the personal description in the accommodation application page, because you get paired with like-minded people.
My accommodation is in Westwood, in Loxley block of Westwood. So Westwood has many different blocks. Like there's A all the way to I think K. My accommodation is good. I think maybe it's the most value for money. The good thing is that I never have to fight for a toilet. My washing machine, my dryer is within my block, so it's actually in the same level, like maybe just 10 meters away. So I don't really have to go out of my place to do my laundry. Everything's good. Yeah, it's a very self-contained environment. I think the only pressing point is that it's about 15 minutes walk from Central Campus. Yeah, so Westwood is in Westwood campus, which is about 15 minutes away from the main campus. So if you walk fast, it could be 10 minutes. If you cycle, it's 5 minutes. I share my kitchen with 13 other people. Yeah, in one level, there's like 25 people. So, but my kitchen is big enough to accommodate 13 people. So it's good, yeah. There are 4 bathrooms, like no bathtubs, 4 toilets. So it's good. Yeah, you never really have to fight for a toilet. Actually, I never fought for a toilet. There's more than enough to go around. My laundry is in the same level. So I live on the first floor, which is kind of different because in the UK you have the ground floor and then the first floor. So I live on the first floor, and yeah, my laundry is about 10 meters away from where I live. I cycle, so it's about 5 minutes. I leave around like 55 on the hour, and then I make it in time. For me, I chose Westwood because I knew that the rooms were big and I knew that they were soundproof, so I can kind of like stay in my room like a lot of time. It's a fire. I cook a lot. I cook all my meals, so having a fire stove is very important to me. And I think other than the fact that Westwood is primarily like situated away from campus, I think everything else is good. Like, I never have a problem with laundry, bathtubs. Like, all these things are very small issues for me.
My accommodation is between Tesco and the Math and Stats building. I really like my accommodation because it's very close to Tesco, and Tesco is like 24/7. So there are a couple of times where I just wandered to Tesco at like 3 in the morning to buy a single item and come back. Least like about my accommodation is that most of the people I hang out with stay at Lakeside, so whenever they have dinner I have to walk all the way to the opposite end of campus to join them for dinner. I share my kitchen with 8 people, and there's a full standing fridge and refrigerator, so everyone has their own shelf and it's more than enough space. In Claycroft it's 2 to a toilet, so it's you and like a flatmate into 1 toilet, and it's a bathtub. I do my laundry at the same building. It's just maybe 50 meters away, but it's in the same building, so no problems when it's raining. I take about 7 to 10 minutes on average to get to class. If it's in the Math and Stats building, I can be there in like 3 minutes. If you're coming to Warwick with friends, you might want to choose the same accommodation so you can have like meals together. But if not, then you can always make new friends here.
Tocil is quite convenient because we're about maybe 7 minutes away from Tesco and 4 minutes away from the Students' Union building. Probably the location, it's really convenient. So I can wake up at like 8:50 for a 9 AM lecture if it's in the Oculus. Okay, I'm not very picky, so I don't mind it, but in general it's quite an old building, so we do like there's like shit on my curtains that was here when I moved in, and like there's watermarks on the ceiling, but I don't really mind it. I share my kitchen with 11 other people, but it's different for some other people in Tocil because some of the flats only have 6 people, I think. So you would only be sharing with 5 other people. But there's really no problem because everyone cooks at very, very different times. Like, I tend to wake up quite early and I eat quite late, whereas a lot of the locals eat dinner at like 6 p.m. So by the time I'm cooking dinner, no one's really in the kitchen. I guess the only downside to sharing a kitchen with a lot of people is you get a lot of mess because, I don't know, a lot of people cook and then not everyone cleans up or not everyone does their dishes. The way like our flat is arranged, this corridor doesn't have any shower facilities, but we do have a bathroom. So I think bathroom-wise, I share it with the 5 other people on this stretch of the corridor. But for showers, I have to share with everybody. And we didn't really split it, it just, whatever's free we tend to just use. But obviously we each have a shower that we tend to use because it's nearer to us. I mean, this is term 3 and I think I've only gone to the shower and then realized the showers are full and I couldn't shower once. So it's not really a problem. The laundry room is, for me, is about maybe 2 minutes away. The laundry room for Tocil is a separate building, I think connected to one of the flats, but even then you can't cut through the flat to get to the laundry room. But it's not as far as I know, Roots. The laundry room is quite a walk away. For my block, it's really quite near. Most of my lectures are in maths and stats, or the chemistry building, or the RAMFL. So the furthest lecture I have is the RAMFL lecture, and that one maybe takes me 8 minutes. For the maths and stats building, initially I thought it was damn far away because I was new to the university, so it took me 10 minutes, but now I've realized it's actually a 5-minute walk. When you apply for the accommodation, they ask you to put in some details about your lifestyle and your living habits to help you match with other people. And I mean, personally, I guess if I could go back, I would put more into it because now I'm quite happy with my flat and I've learned to adjust and accommodate. But obviously if things like sleeping early are very big to you, or a clean kitchen or a quiet flat are very important to you, then you want to say those things because once you get to uni and you're forced to live with other people, I think the small things that tick you off at home tend to seem a lot larger. I didn't realize how annoyed I got with dirty dishes I was until I was forced to live with it. So I think maybe just put more thought into what you really want out of your accommodation.
My accommodation is quite near to Central Campus. It's just behind the health centre. It's about a 2 or 3 minute walk to Roots grocery store and about 5-6 minute walk to the sports centre. What I like most about my accommodation is the view from the window. Having 4 seasons, it always changes and it's always absolutely beautiful. What I least like is that it's a 34-week let, meaning that over Easter break you need to vacate the room. It's frustrating because you have so many things, you've made it your room and then you suddenly have to leave and then come back in, which is quite frustrating. There are 12 of us in the kitchen and yes, there is definitely enough space because people are in the kitchen at different times. So having a spacious kitchen, and you never have 12 people in there at once, so it's pretty good. Well, I've got an ensuite, so I've got my own bathroom, which is great and lovely. There's a bathtub, which is great, and we get it cleaned by the cleaners who also clean the kitchen once a week. There's a laundrette actually attached to this building, but depending on which Jack Martin you're in, it's a 2-minute walk, not even. There's lots of washing machines and dryers, so you've always got access to them. Depending on where my classes are, never more than 10 minutes, given that the accommodation is near Central Campus. A tip I'd give to people choosing their accommodation is when you write your little personal message saying what you're all about and what you like and what you hate, be honest about it, because that's what's gonna get you the flatmates that suit you next year.
My accommodation is at the most south side of the campus. It is about 10 minutes from Roots, so it's quite central, I would say. It's very easy, the double bed and the ensuite toilet. There are 4 blocks for Bluebell, but Bluebell 1 is the furthest away, so it's actually quite a walk compared to the rest of the Bluebell ones. And some people will say that the price is a bit steep. I pay about £171, so that's the most expensive of all the accommodations. So I think most people would think that it's a bit too much, even for the double bed ensuite. So I think mostly the price would be an issue, but the facilities are quite good. 8 of us share a kitchen. I would say it's enough space. It's not the biggest kitchen, but it's pretty nice, and I think because there's only 8 of us, compared to the other accommodations which are more, I think it's more than enough space for everyone. I have an ensuite toilet, so it's pretty convenient. You get a shower for myself, and the cleaner comes in twice a week to clean it, so I think it's pretty convenient. We have a laundrette downstairs, so it's very convenient as well. It's in this building itself, so whether rain or shine is pretty convenient to do my laundry. I do like a math course, so it takes me about a good 15-minute walk to get to the stats building or the Siemens building, so I would say about 15 minutes. I think you just need to be very clear on your priorities, like whether it's the price or sometimes you would think that, I think for a lot of people, ensuite matters a lot. Yeah, whether you prioritize distance to central campus. Also keep in mind where you where you have most of your classes. So if you know you'll be very far away, it's better to choose something that's relatively close by. If not, it makes it very hard to want to go to classes.
My accommodation is 3 minutes from the student union or the SU. It's very, very central. For me, I like how it's really, really convenient. It's very, very central. Like, that is really the best portion about it. And it's also really cheap. And the thing about New Roots is the fact that it's very connected. So basically, once you enter the block, you get to access like 4 full blocks, and so it's a lot easier to make friends as well. The thing is, in term 1 and term 2, like half of term 2, the kitchen was an open kitchen, which means that people from other flats could enter my kitchen as well. So that was a bit annoying because things just go missing. But now they've implemented a new system, which means with a key card like this, only you in your flat can enter your own kitchen. That was one thing that I hated, but not anymore. In New Roots, we share with about 11 people, myself plus 10 other students and 1 resident tutor. Resident tutor is just like it's a student as well, except he or she is like a postgrad student or something like that. And what they do is they just make sure that there's like law and order and like everybody's disciplined in the flat. They set out like flat rules and stuff like that. Yeah, so I share with about 11 other people. I feel like there's a lot of space actually because there's 1 kitchen. We have 2 bathrooms, 2 toilets. Yeah, so generally it's about half-half, so it's about like 6 and 6, which is actually a very good ratio, I feel. Out of the 2 showering facilities, one of them is actually like a cubicle, which means you enter, you close your glass door, then you shower. Whereas the other one is a bathtub. So basically you can soak as and when you want. The toilet, it's just a toilet bowl and a sink, and yeah, there's just 2 of those. I do my laundry at the SU laundrette, which is about a 2-minute walk from my building. Depending on which building you are in Roots or New Roots specifically, you can take maybe like an extra minute to walk there, but generally within 5 minutes you are at the laundrette. It's very, very convenient. For me to get to my classes, maximum maybe 5. I can get up like 10 minutes before my lecture and still be there on time, so it's not an issue. What I chose to as criteria was cost. Cost was the main factor for me, so I chose Roots. But what you should also consider is convenience. If you're the kind of person who does not like to wake up early and you cannot prepare for lessons like earlier, then of course choose something that's a bit more central. Whereas if you like comfort and you like long walks and stuff, like, you know, just to calm yourself, then of course you choose something else like a bit further off.
My accommodation is at Old Roots, so it's near where the Roots building and the SU is. It's around maybe 5 minutes from Central Campus where most of the buildings are. I quite like that Roots is quite big, so if you want to find people to hang out with within your first week, you can just go to another kitchen like downstairs or the next block. And I like that it's really near to Central Campus. I mean, it's good if you're not that punctual or you don't want to get up too early. That works too. Okay, I guess it's because there's so many people as well. There tends to be a lot of like accidents or mishaps during the weekends, especially with the lower floors if there's like a big party or something. So if someone breaks the ceiling or they do something stupid, you kind of have to endure with that for the weekend before it gets solved. Around 13 people. It's quite big. There's 2 stoves with like 4 hobs on each, yeah. And the kitchen's quite spacious. There are like 2 fridges, 2 freezers, and there are enough cupboards to store all your stuff. There are 2 showers, 1 bathtub with a shower, and there are 2 toilets. So what we do is that we actually segregate genders. So the boys have a toilet, the girls have a toilet, and the girls have a shower, the boys have a shower, and the bathtub is shared. There's a laundrette just downstairs, like 2 minutes from where I live. So if you want to get your laundry, you have to haul your stuff and then wait. Yeah, so it isn't too bad. The walk isn't too long. 5 to 10 minutes. Because most of my classes are in the humanities buildings or Oculus, it doesn't take long. But I can imagine if your classes are in the math building, that's a longer walk, but isn't too bad. I guess it's really up to individual preference. Like for me, like I'm staying at Roots, but like I'm staying at the top floor, so it's quite quiet. So when they ask you to write down your preferences, just be honest about what you want. Like if you actually feel more comfortable with like segregated genders, like just say that. If you want a quiet room, just say that. If you want something more social, just say that. It's really up to individual preference. And I guess take a look at the map as well and see where most of your classes are and like which is the best accommodation to stay at.
Whitefield is in Central Campus. It's close to the bus interchange and Roots grocery store. It's 10 minutes proximity to most lectures and seminars, and yeah, it's very central. I chose the accommodation at first because I like the concept of a house. If you have seen, Whitefield is the only accommodation that is like a house shared by 12 people, so it's quite cozy and the room's pretty big and comfortable, so I'm happy with that. The fact that it's small and compact and you have to share it with 12 people, that sometimes is a bit inconvenient, and having to share one toilet with 6 people on your floor, that's also sometimes causes you some inconvenience. And it's not the newest accommodation, so things break down sometimes. I share my kitchen with 12 people and there wouldn't be enough space for everyone if we used the kitchen all at once. Yeah, so it sometimes can get a bit squeezy, but we figured it out by staggering the times either among ourselves, or we just choose a less crowded time to use the kitchen. It isn't a massive problem for me, but some people may not like it. The bathrooms are shared bathrooms. They aren't the biggest, so it's just a shower and it isn't very big. Yeah, so the toilet can get quite cramped, and because you have to share 2 toilets among 12 people, sometimes you've got to wait for your turn, but it hasn't happened too much to me. There's a laundrette just a minute's walk behind the Whitefields accommodations. I never take more than 10 minutes to get to my classes because Whitefields is located in Central Campus. Just make sure you make your informed choice based on how many people you're willing to share your bathroom and kitchen with, and the proximity from your faculties. That's quite important. So if you have your classrooms mostly in one particular building, then choose an accommodation close to that.
accommodation is like across the road from uni. It's nearer to like the Cryfield Sports Pavilion. It's about 3 minutes walk to Central Campus. I think what I like most about my accommodation is like how quiet it is, because it's one of the only residences that is like away from the main like bulk of residences, so it's quite quiet here. I think one of the problems with my accommodation is that it is also the furthest from Tesco, so it's about 20 minutes walk. My kitchen is shared between like 8 of us, and yeah, there's plenty of space, so it's not really an issue here. We have 3 cubicles with like toilet bowls and 3 cubicles for showering, including one that has like a bathtub. It's shared between I think 16 of us, but I've never had a problem with like waiting for the bathroom. The laundry is actually further down from here. It's about a 5 minutes walk. Most of my lessons are in the social sciences building. It's a bit nearer here, so it's about 5 minutes. For me, I think what was most important was like the cost. And I think one of the inconveniences of choosing Cryfield is that you have to take note that it is not going to cover your rent for Easter. So there is that little trouble of moving out during your spring break. But on hindsight, when I look back at it, I think it's actually quite a good thing, because like it gives you the chance to like pack up all your stuff before you move out in summer. So when summer comes, you don't have to like pack everything and have a big headache.